I'm delighted to speak with you, and delighted that this year's Leadership Institutes were in person for the first time since 2019. There's nothing quite like getting to know your cohort face to face, and I'm so glad that you could have that experience. And thank you to everyone who makes this program possible, including State Department colleagues in Washington and at our embassies and consulates across Africa who recruit and select our outstanding fellows, all the Institute partners across the country who hosted fellows this spring, our program implementer, IREX, the members of Congress who champion this initiative, and our wonderful keynote speaker, Dr. Bernice King. Most of all, thank you to our fellows for your leadership, your ambition, openness to new ideas and new people, and commitment to building stronger ties between your countries and the United States.
In fact, one doesn't have to be brilliant to attempt a coup.
I disagree with that. As somebody who has helped plan coup d'etat, not here, but other places, it takes a lot of work.
Please, your dusty mood don't vibe with me. You are old and so therefore I must say 10 for dinosaur. Hey. Okay, boomer. Whatever you say, boomer. Okay, boomer. Whatever you say, boomer. Okay, boomer. Whatever you say, boomer. Okay, boomer. Okie dokie, boomer.
Don't I make a good Oz Blinken? I make a good Oz Blinken, don't I?
That was kind of scary. You sounded like Obama, too. Can I just say?
I know. God, shit. Jilly's going to say, that's so creepy.
That's so
Lucky's
creepy.
going to say, that's creepy. Everybody's going to say, that's so creepy. I think Eric said.
It was very creepy.
Eric said, oh, shit, that's scary.
Yeah, it's disturbing. It is disturbing.
It is disturbing. I've got lice down here on the left side here. So
oh, no. You better get rid of your lice.
I got it all over me. I got different lighting tonight. I got summertime lighting tonight because it's so damn hot in here. So.
Yeah, it happens. So, yay, we're back. We are out of YouTube jail. We took a copyright, or
community strike.
Community strike over a week ago, and I don't even think it's for anything that we said. Honestly, I think it was for one of the refaces that we did.
Yeah, the refaces can get brutal, everybody. It's
the refaces that get us every time. The copyright strikes, the community guidelines. Yeah, so I mean, we're going to try our damnedest to not trigger another one of those, but I mean, we had a warning back in October, right? That was just before the election, so... Yeah. Okay, I understand that. But this one kind of came out of nowhere. And, it's the company we keep, and we know that. But we're not going to change what we're saying or what we're doing. You and I have talked about it. You send me a message, you go, well, just tell me what to not bring and what I can bring. And no, I would never, ever do that,
I know.
We didn't miss a beat. We did a show while we were in timeout because we had other platforms and we have great friends that allowed us to be on their networks.
Yeah, I got to mea culpa to everybody. The main reason, other than being put in timeout by YouTube, was I've had too much screen time while I wear these glasses, but it screws up with your optics in your head. And I get like seasick, nauseated because like I've been on too long. Yeah, dizzy shit.
Well, you're sitting next to a router too, that couldn't have anything to do with it. Yeah. I've been fighting dizziness for 2 years. Since I've been doing this, I've been fighting dizziness. And I know it's screen time.
Let me count the ways I try and fry my brain. Through my eye sockets, through my ears, and again through my ear.
And through everything you consume.
Everything. I'm in an electromagnetic pulse. Almost all day long, so I need to pull away a little bit. I want to say hi to everybody since I haven't been able to say hi to anybody for a while.
We've missed you guys so much.
Oh my God, Gamer and Ganja for life. Becca C. Hi, Trish. Trish, I've seen you around a lot. Steve Cutler. There's Steve. And Eric the Red. Great show on Sabby today. Had Chris Heads and Ole. I can't pronounce her name. Ole, the girl from the Hill. That was fun. Great interview. Let me see. Jilly. Hi, Jilly. Popeye said, is this a jailbreak? Is that who said that? This is a jailbreak.
This is a jailbreak.
Jingo. Hiya, Jingo. Good to see
Al
you.
Walski. Hi, Al.
Al. What's up, Al? How you doing, Al? Cirrus. Good to see you, Cirrus. Good to see you. Vic. Hi, Vic.
Hey, Vic.
Shout out to Thurston Community Media. Sorry we missed you last week. We will hopefully we'll have something good for you this week without compromising our principles.
We're working on it. Yeah. I don't even know. This show tonight has got a lot of stuff that we could potentially. So if we just disappear, you know where we are. We're in timeout again.
Yeah, we don't want to get in the doghouse. And thank you for that Super Ray there, Popeye. We really do appreciate it. Is this a jailbreak edition? Yeah, I guess it's the jailbreak edition. We don't go out of our way to get knocked down because, frankly, we get super chats. They come directly to us a month later, right? And
yeah, they will. I mean, we actually haven't, because we just got monetized in May, which that's funny. We were only monetized for a month before we took a strike. But yeah, it's the way they pay out. Eventually, in a couple of months, we'll be paid for whatever we made a couple of months ago.
Yeah, and again, we appreciate what you guys do for us as far as support, everything, and we also appreciate you supporting our sisters and brothers out there because we see it and we appreciate it. So
it's an investment. It's you guys invest in us, and I have had so many people. You know, I grew up poor. I was a single mom. You know, uneducated. I never had a sense of community ever around me that lifted me, you know, and these last 8 years, people are just, I can't believe it. It blows my mind, the amount of energy and love and everything that you guys put into us, you know, and that's, I can never stop. Like, I work for you guys. I have to keep working.
And we sincerely do hope we offer you a little bit different bent than what our other sisters and brothers who bring the hard news and, information that you can use on the regular basis. So we appreciate that too. I wanted to Snarky.
I see Snarky going off in there about monitors. Yeah, without getting headaches. I hear you. I fight headaches every single day.
For using my 3 monitors without getting headaches, I went to an optometrist and asked for a 30-inch prescription modification and added UV guard. The distance to the screen needs to be set actual distance head from the screen. And I would say, what am I, 20? I'm 24. I'm 24.
Yeah, I'm probably more like 36.
For my main, I'm 24.
Because I took my design from Snorky, I might add. Thank you, Snork.
Yeah, Eric says maybe we should get used to, I should get used to hanging out here. You know what? Honestly, as much as the DIY on YouTube is great, as far as civil discourse on YouTube, it's terrible. And I'm being honest, YouTube. You guys are not set up for civil discourse because of your rules and regulations. So we look at you as a DIY talent movie review platform. That's what you're for. So you won't feel bad when we have to go elsewhere if there is ever another big enough platform. We'll still keep you there, but kind of be nice to our sisters and brothers.
Still waiting on Panquake. I gotta say, I keep getting Panquake emails. You guys probably know better than I do what's going on with Panquake, but I just keep hoping that one of these days or where the hell are the class action lawsuits?
Well, I would
Why
sign
are these guys not being sued for this crap?
I would donate my $20. You know,
I would too.
I mean, if you could get 1 million people to donate a 20 spot, that would be really nice. I know that Google is a big corporation, but I've been screaming this all week. Break up big tech. It would be.
Yeah, well, it's funny though. Like, remember when we went after Microsoft in the 90s? Oh my God, you're big and we need to break you up. Funny how he became a philanthropist and all of a sudden he's in charge of vaccines across the world. You know, as soon as that happens, remember that's when he stepped up and he was going to save the world.
Well, that's good. I'm glad he wants to save the world. I don't know if I think that's the way to go, buying farmland.
Right. I just find it suspicious.
Yeah, it is a little bit tricky there. Fred Edward. Hi, Fred. Copeland Morris. Good to see you. Moose and Squirrel. Always love Moose and Squirrel. That's one of my favorites. Jim.
Me too.
Jim, what's up, Jim? Hi, Jim. And I think we have everybody shouted out. Let me see. Is there anybody else that I don't like to miss people? And
Shelly.
Gamer and Gone just said, "Hey, Beauty and the Viewer,
PC,
thank you so
welcome,
much."
PC.
Becca, yeah, I see you.
Yeah,
Shelley,
Google is a subsidiary.
Hi,
I
Shelley.
agree.
Shelley, you're so nice.
Hey, Shelley.
I really enjoy your tweets, Shelley, and your posts. DC, yep, DC and Eric there again. And
Google is a subsidiary. I can't agree more.
Steve, yeah, Google, yeah, it's terrible.
Today was Google Day, right? Like, I didn't even log on, so I don't know, but I heard
It's
this.
Amazon Prime Day.
Amazon Prime
I'm
Day.
not buying anything. So.
Whatever. They get my money every month, so that's all.
I know. That's the thing.
I've made a commitment to no longer do Walmart. You haven't heard me say anything about going into a Walmart because I refuse to shop at Walmart this month.
Yeah, I wish I had that option. Well, I do, but there's just...
I don't, and it sucks, and I'm trying to adjust, but I just cannot be treated like, I can't pay to be treated like a criminal anymore.
Speaking of Walmart and you self-checkout people, Chanda and I read an article the other day. Be careful with your self-checkout because they're merciless. If you don't get everything in there, they're going to arrest you and charge you.
Yeah.
And that doesn't make sense to me. If so you're going to get accused of shoplifting,
right?
Even if you forget and leave
hours
something.
After you've left the store, right? They'll just go watch the video, and since it's your local Walmart, they know who you are because you come in every day. They'll just go look at your license plate, and boom, there you are.
I'll put an end to that real quick if they ever do it with me. But I just, it's getting crazy out there, guys.
Yeah,
we are in the thick of summer right now, aren't we?
That's how long it's been since we did a show. Really?
Oh my God! Yeah, I think we had one in between, but it's already going the other way as far as getting dark early. So
yeah, we've already passed the solstice.
And Hallmark is Christmas in July is going full bore. Not that anybody wants to know.
I have friends that did Christmas in July. They had a lot of tragedies in December. So every year they just get together in July and do their family Christmas.
Yeah, well, as far as celebrating and doing a holiday thing, I'm not opposed to anybody doing Christmas for all their own personal reasons. So, yeah, that's where I'm at. You brought these. Could this get us taken down here, or is this not fair game?
This is fair game to me. If they want to take us down for it, they're more hypocritical than,
Yeah. Yeah, a bunch of this stuff has dropped this week. We've even got one from a CBS or something, a video.
Yeah, so the ones that I did bring, because we have to kind of tiptoe around this subject, but the ones I did bring, they're mainstream clips, so I think we will be okay. We just have to be careful what we say about this. But I just want to point out that when this story broke at the end of October last year, I said, after you and I went and looked at it, right? We went and looked at the laptop leaks. We backdoored into some, we watched the movie.
We had a porn night. Shannon and I had a porn night.
How crazy was that? Yeah, Oz and I watched Hunter Biden porn together. And we knew it was the gift that was going to keep on giving. And that's exactly what I called it. I said, this is not going away. I don't care how many newspapers they ban off of Twitter. This is just going to keep bubbling. And it is. He's perking just like his crack pipe. And here we go, man. They hacked his iCloud this weekend. And when I first saw that, I was like, oh, shit, I'm not going to click on anything because who knows what's in it. You don't want to download it onto your shit, right? They always tell you that because that's like their way of scaring you not into looking at the facts, basically, is the way I feel about it. So tell me not to click on something. I'm going to go click at it. And I don't think this is the worst of it either, because remember, we're still a little ways out from the freaking midterm. And I'm sure that they've been over in Switzerland digging through this shit. We knew they had it a month and a half ago. We reported about it. We told you they were working on going through the files. There was literally tens of thousands of files, and it was going to take them a ton of time to go through it. And this is just the surface, I think. I think we're going to get a lot more as we get into it.
Yeah, just refresh my memory. How many months has it been since we said the Dems are going to get slaughtered in the midterms?
November, the election.
Yeah, the election. So it's been over a year. Yeah, it's been 2 years. 2 years. It'll be 2 years.
No, we've been on the air telling you the Dems suck for 2 years.
Yeah, and they were going to get slaughtered. And now some of our bigger sisters and brothers are saying, oh, they're going to get wiped out. And we're going, Shannon and I go, where you been, guys?
But here's the thing. And I got to be careful about this because this is what always gets us in trouble.
Okay.
Will they really get wiped out when they have the control that they have? Will they? If they don't, then anybody should be able to look at it and laugh and say, yeah, this is corrupt.
Well, they're just changing shitty shoes. It's just going to be the other shitty party.
And that's the other thing. They're all one wing of the same, corporate party.
I was thinking today about what is the most positive thing that I personally am going to get out of this when they get blown out is, and if they lose the Senate, that would be both. That would be great.
They will. And
yeah, but the House, no more Nancy Pelosi. That's going to be heaven. And no more Chuck Schumer. That would be fantastic.
Oh my gosh,
but what do we get? What do we get? McCarthy, and who do we get for the House?
Yeah.
Hakeem Jeffries?
No, we just moved to the next version of
Republic.
bad.
Yeah, it's the next version of bad. So I don't know. I'm just tired of Pelosi. I'm tired of her eyebrows. I'm tired of her whatever.
Her elitism.
So you got a movie here. This is from Sky News. And this we got off of YouTube, so it should be okay, right? I'm hoping.
If they punk Sky News, then they'll punk us. But this is one of the videos that was, released this week from Hunter's iCloud.
But we can't confirm or deny that this is really a video of Hunter. We don't
make
want
your
to do
own
that.
assumptions.
Yeah, make your own assumptions.
Go ahead.
We're not going to say that this is. We don't want to be accused of saying something that's not true. So we're just wondering. We're just showing what Sky News has.
Now today, more videos of Hunter Biden's antics have come to light.
They're saying
many of them are simply too obscene to play here or even to describe. This guy, for reasons I'll never understand, films himself doing the creepiest things, including arguing with a woman about the size of his crack stash.
So I just laid out the bag. It's 2.06.
2.07 without the bag.
How long is
2.0.
According to Joe Biden, that's the smartest man he knows. Yes, he really said that. And talking about the big guy, remember what Joe Biden said about those who are found with even a small amount of crack.
If you have a piece of crack cocaine no bigger than this quarter that I'm holding in my hand,
that's a pretty big
quarter
piece.
of $1. We passed a law through the leadership of Senator Thurmond and myself and others, a law that says if you're caught with that, you go to jail for 5 years. You get no probation. You get nothing other than 5 years in jail. Judge doesn't have a choice.
5 years minimum, but I guess that was for the poor kids in the projects, not the entitled fail son of a US Senator, Vice President, and now President.
Yeah, where's the beef, man? What's going on?
I was very close with a crackhead in my life. I didn't know he was a crackhead in the beginning, but I, found out. And can I tell you, they have this weird fucking mentality. People are like, who records this type of stuff? Somebody who's high on crack. That's who. They love to barricade themselves into rooms, just smoke and smoke and smoke for 2-3 days straight. And this is exactly that's why they call it a crack den, because they go in there, they den themselves in, and then they just have everything brought in, including the women, and that's what we see. I've seen video of women traveling to see Hunter across state lines. And I think that's the next story I might have brought. But some of the videos that are coming out, I don't know. Can they charge him? Will they charge him? No, but can they?
Ethically, I think that his father should have to say something, since he is the president of the United States. He could mea culpa.
Not for their kids.
He should say that. He should say that. Whatever, problems my son has had, he needs to stand by him and hope he gets well and be done with it. But he's not.
No way, Shelley. No way.
What?
No way. She just blew my mind. Oh, did you see that Bradley Cooper is dating Uma Abedin?
What?
You know who Uma Abedin, for those out there who don't know who she is, this is Hillary's handler. They've been very close for many, many years. That's Anthony Weiner's ex-wife.
Ew. I don't think I could date anybody that was married to a wiener.
Well, I don't know, but I hear Bradley Cooper's kind of a wiener, so it doesn't matter.
So it's just trade one wiener for another wiener.
Yeah, right. I've just trading one wiener for another.
You know, our feeling on Hollywood, we're not very forgiving of anybody in Hollywood. So sorry, guys. They probably, when they watch our show, they probably hate
You don't
us.
get to that level unless you're a terrible human being.
What do you got? What do I have behind me? What's Joe doing? Is he trying to give a thumbs up to you or what?
This is just some more of the Biden story.
Okay, let's see what we got. This is Hunter
room in New York. He was looking for a good time, so he hit up his go-to supplier to see what girls were available.
It's not true.
Moments later, Hunter's buying 3 tickets for prostitutes on Amtrak. Ironically, it's the same rail line his father rode to work on. The girls sent videos of themselves on the train to Hunter to let him know they're on the way. And once they arrived there was an orgy which Hunter filmed. Of course, because there isn't a crime Hunter hasn't filmed. So by paying to transport escorts from Boston to New York, Hunter may have violated the Mann Act, which makes it a felony to transport individuals for the purpose of prostitution.
I didn't know that.
I don't know. Is that considered video evidence of the commission of a crime?
Oh, they could just say that was just somebody
Allegedly,
clowning it up. Yeah.
Right. I don't know how they would even prove it unless they got those girls to flip. So, yeah.
I don't know. We got more. How much Hunter do you have in here?
This is it. This is it. United Spot just freaking wraps it up beautifully.
Okay. Let's have the United Spot show us how to do it. Let's see if we can get him to go. Oh, my God.
I said to crack, rock, the hunter to the Biden. I smoke lots of crack and I won't stop smoking cause my emails are leaking and up jumps my daddy, he's a pedo of America's seed. Now the videos you see are not fake news, but they will be soon, you'll see. Cause Twitter, the news, and Pedo Peter are gonna make sure you all don't see that my name's Hunter, man, and I really do like blow. The Ukraine, my gun, the Burisma, man, my paintings and my hose. But first, I gotta light the cracky to the pipe. I laundered lots of money with the big guy beside me. Is that rock? I won't stop. 4chan will make my emails talk. Now this hoe can't weigh my rock, so I need to say goodbye. So ignore all the leaks and don't forget to vote for the big guy.
There you are.
Oh my God.
The whole Pedo Pete thing is hilarious. If you haven't heard that story yet,
yeah, I heard that. That's that's the name of his dad and his phone. Is that right?
That's
Pedo
what he
Pete?
calls his dad in his
Pedo
phone.
Pete.
Yeah.
Oh,
and it's because he uses Pete Hendrickson as one of his alias when he's, because all the elites have their aliases. So us common folks can't find out what they're doing.
Oh, okay. So how endearing of him. That is so thoughtful. Jesus Christ. Oh, well.
That was funny.
Oh, well. We kid the president. Isn't that what Bill Maher says? We kid the president.
Yeah, I'm just kidding him.
We just kid the president. It's all about satire and having a little fun, right? Right, YouTube? That's where we're having fun. You've got to thank you to Seth Rich today.
Yes, this is the anniversary this week of the murder of Seth Rich. And I just want to say thank you, Seth. And, we know that he's an American hero and what he did. Those of us who know.
Yeah, he did. He released that information to our friend.
And Julian Assange rotting in Belmarsh over it.
Yeah, this is wow, really got you there. So rest in peace, Seth. You were gone too soon. This next one this one pissed me off quite a bit. I've seen this all week. I watched.
Yes, I know.
Yeah, I watched. Is this a Blumenthal interview?
Yes, this is the first 2 minutes of it. I've got it. I'm going to drop it in the chat for you guys to watch later. If you haven't seen it already, great interview.
I am very disappointed in our German sisters and brothers for allowing this shit to happen in their country.
Yeah. And did you guys learn nothing?
Nothing.
Nothing?
Here we go.
Hi, everybody. I'm Max Blumenthal with The Gray Zone, thegrayzone.com. And I'm here today with independent journalist Alina Lipp, who is a German journalist now reporting from the Donbass region of eastern Ukraine and specifically the independent republics of Donetsk and Lugansk. And she is now being prosecuted by the German government and faces 3 years in prison for her reporting, which has violated new German speech laws. So we're here to talk to Alina to understand better this prosecution and Germany's role, not only in this conflict, but what she's been seeing on the ground and why her reporting is such a threat to this frontline NATO state. Welcome, Alina, to the Gray Zone.
Hello, nice to talk to you.
Good to see you. Describe to us this prosecution, and I understand it's sort of framed as a lawsuit. You're not allowed, you're not welcome to show up at the hearing. You've basically been delivered a paper explaining your prosecution. What was in that paper, and what are you facing now if you go back home to Germany?
Actually, this whole thing is very strange. It started a month ago where I noticed that there's some money missing from my bank account, and there was some number written on. Well, I found some number and I understood. Okay, there's something going on from the government. Well, from the side of the government, and they took money from my bank account, but nobody told me why. So I haven't got mail or nothing. I heard nothing. And I'm still registered in Germany, so they are reading my mail, but got nothing. And
so that they seized all of the money.
Journalist in Germany.
Sorry to interrupt, but they seized all the money from your bank account without informing you?
Not all money. They took 1,600 euro. And then a journalist got interested about this because I was writing on my channel about this, what happened. The journalist was asking questions, and only afterwards, they sent a mail. And I got these documents and understood that they are now prosecuting me. They opened a case because I am supporting the special operation in Russia that was written, what was written in this paper. And for example, they mentioned, I was saying the 24th of February that Russia started the special operation and said it's denazification.
Hot.
Up.
Wow.
Yeah. How frickin' Orwellian. Scary, because we know what they do, and what they do, our government does too. So we're next, right? They didn't disagree with what we're doing, so they just go into your bank account, take your money. I mean, we saw it in Canada with the truckers, right?
Yeah, that to me is that's fascism right there. That's huge fascism, to be able to take away your ability to pay for your bills. I mean, Jesus Christ.
It's 100% Orwellian 1984. And yeah, please go watch it. It's like a 40-minute interview. It's shocking and it's heartbreaking. And I don't know how we stop this crap globally. I don't know how we stop it locally.
Yeah, well, you got the oligarch and the banksters in charge of everything.
Well, yeah, the world, the globe.
World, yeah, the globe and everything. And speaking
Pat,
of that,
that's amazing. Pat, I got to tell you, Pat, the Batman fan, I smoked a joint with Jeff Bridges. Bucket list item crossed off. I got to agree, that would be pretty cool.
Yeah, he's got a show out there on, I think it's AMC or something. It's called The Old Man. It's not bad if you're into that sort of thing.
The boomer.
Yeah, the boomer. Just a fun fact: the euro is even on par with the American dollar, and that to me is kind of spooky. I don't know why that's a bad thing, but I got a gut feeling. Snorky, why is it a bad thing or a good thing? Because you know a lot about this stuff.
Yeah, Snork will tell you.
Yeah, why is it bad or good that the euro is the same as the American dollar now? I think before it was like the American dollar was above the euro by about 17 to 20 cents. I'm not totally sure. So does that mean our money's going in the toilet quicker? This one right here, Mark Allen Siegel, he should rot in hell.
Yeah, my name is Mark Allen Siegel. I invented superdelegates. I told the DNC to reduce their power because Bernie voters didn't pay attention to the hashtag DNC fraud lawsuit and think that now we cheated them. It's not that we are a corporation and are legally get to choose our candidate. And they do, right? We learned that in the Beck lawsuit,
Yeah,
the
the
DNC
Beck
lawsuit.
lawsuit. Yeah, they're
they
lawyers.
Said they're a
Yeah.
corporation. It doesn't matter that you give them money, that it's your money, that it keeps their charter, because that's what they are. They're considered a charter. I watched all of that lawsuit. I'm friends with the Becks, and yeah, I was paying the fuck attention. So yeah, because the Bernie voters weren't paying attention. Bullshit, we were paying attention. And those of us who were screaming for you guys to get the fuck out of the party kept shaking our head and saying it doesn't matter. They gave you little crumbs with the superdelegate shit. It was going to not allow you to have any power within their charter ever.
Yeah, I think your other boyfriend mentioned Kshama Sawant the other day about changing the Democratic Party from within. Gee, wish we knew what we knew now back then, right?
Yeah, she told me. She told me to my face.
Did. This freaked me out. This you put this in. I didn't put it in. Right?
I did. I managed to find a little clip. I'm sure you guys have seen this because it broke yesterday and everybody's been talking about it. But there was another clip with it. What I do?
I didn't. This is.
Anyways, yeah. This is. Did I get rid of that?
Now, is this gal? Is this an Israeli facilitator or trainer? Or I think. Let's just play it. Let's just play it.
Okay, just play it. Just play it.
A new public service announcement from the city's Department of Emergency Management warns New Yorkers about what to do in case of a nightmare scenario.
So there's been a nuclear attack. Don't ask me how or why. Just know that the big one has hit, okay? So what do we do?
The department says it released the video despite the very low likelihood of a nuclear attack taking place, and it reports no specific threat has been made to the city. The new PSA comes after a survey found New Yorkers felt the least prepared for a no-notice event like a nuclear attack. It advises 3 steps in the event of an attack. Step 1, get inside. Step 2, head to a basement or a middle of a building and remove all outer clothing. And step 3, monitor updates from the government and the media.
Wait a minute. Wait. Remove all outer clothes. So strip down, get naked, and go back to nature?
Right. Okay. So if boom happens, because there's so much propaganda going on right now, there's so much fear mongering. I had another clip and I must have removed it, but Lisa Haven, I don't know if you know who she is. She's far, far right. Like she's far right. She does these, she did a good breakdown of what's coming out of Russia. And, you know, we really pay attention to what Russian officials are saying because Fee's over there, right? She's bringing us the information firsthand, which is amazing. And so we know what their press conferences, what they're saying and what they're doing because we're getting that info. And there's been a lot of fear mongering about, oh, it's coming. It's coming. I look on Facebook the other day or Twitter and somebody's like, oh my God, we're seconds away from nuclear annihilation.
Fair point.
We have been for a long time, but okay, good to know just because somebody said something that you believe that. And then this drops. So yeah, New York, is it going to help you go to the center of the building and change your clothes and wait for us to text you? For one, if one of those devices goes off, won't we lose all electronics with an EMP pulse? I don't snark. Am I wrong about that? How are they going to text you? How are they going to give you updates on when it's okay?
Your cell towers would be whacked.
That's what I'm saying. Wouldn't all electronics be whacked? I mean, we've been taught that in Hollywood movies, but just go inside. They don't even tell you to tape up the doors or anything. You ain't getting away from that kind of radiation ever.
Yeah, Eric says they're gonna censor and then kill us all. Well, they've got the censoring down. I'm just
they got that one.
Waiting for the kill, Eric.
Well, and they're in their big expensive bunkers. If you guys have been following us for any length of time,
God.
I have
Bowling
taken
alleys?
us through some of the best bunkers in the world. The elite are going to be just fine if that happens.
Yeah, and they're going to be just fine until they go crazy.
Oh, they're going to be comfortable. They have pools. They have different levels with shopping. They literally have a shopping mall under there for them. Yes, they've got whole communities built now.
Underground.
Yeah, so taking the old missile silos and making communities out of those.
Honestly, Chanda, would you want to live like that?
No. I would hate to be trapped in a freaking and the fact that those are the people that'll be left to repopulate the earth.
Yeah.
Oh, God. There's no hope for humanity.
Well, I don't think the Earth would be populatable after something like that, considering what we got going on with global climate and the way our atmosphere, YouTube, I can say toxified atmosphere because of all the chemicals for years. I don't mean it in a bad way, you know, whatever.
I do mean it in a bad way.
We're just screwed.
Yeah, we're just so screwed. But New York, they're trying to scare you. So there you go.
What'd you bring Crackhead Barbie for?
Because you love Crackhead Barbie, and we haven't heard from her in a while. We had Nazi Barbie a couple of weeks ago, but Crackhead Barbie, she's one of our faves. So we used to make so much fun of Crackhead Barbie. I kind of miss those days. But
all right,
she's not wrong. She's not wrong with what she's saying over here on Fox.
Oh my God, here we go.
I want to bring in now Kellyanne Conway, polling expert and former senior counselor to President Trump. Thank you so very much for being in focus.
I would call her that. That's
what the polling tells us. Go deep for us, Kellyanne.
Yes, this New York Times poll is devastating. Harris, 33% approve of Joe Biden, but 64% of Democrats, as you say, want, quote, someone else. They have concluded Joe Biden's not even trying to be a good president. They're whistling right past him. And note how these Democrats, Harris, are not saying off the record or on the record. And you know what? Let's just let Kamala take over now. Thanks for elevating her and making history with her. We'd like the vice president to step in. It seems like they've looked past her, too. You have governors in California and Illinois, these high tax, high regulation states that hate school choice, did a terrible job all through the pandemic, spend way too much money, and yet they think they should be running against Joe Biden. In that same New York Times poll, Harris, I dug a little bit deeply this morning, 94, not a mispronunciation, 94% of Democrats under the age of 30 say they want someone other than Joe Biden. They favored Joe
94.
Biden 60 to 30 in the last presidential election. He did 5 points better among young people under 30 than Hillary did 4 years earlier. So this is devastating. And look, I think for Biden and the Democrats, they're attacking each other now for a very simple reason. The usual boogeymans are not available to them. Boogeymen are not available to them. They can blame the vast right and conspiracy, but it's a Democratic Party that's looking under the hood and saying we've got a lemon on our hands. And lastly,
a lemon.
They like to say
More
Trump,
like a prune.
Trump. Every time Joe Biden says Donald Trump's name now, voters say two things. Number one, they say, man up. You've been the president for a year and a half. You created this bad economy, energy dependence, Putin in Ukraine. Number two, thanks for reminding me about Donald Trump and how great we all had it. If I'm Joe Biden, I don't want to make this a binary choice between Trump's economy and Biden's economy.
Ouch.
So there you have it, fresh out of the mouth of Crackhead Barbie.
Oh, shit.
Sims are going to lose.
You're so mean.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Is that better? Is that worse than Nazi Barbie?
No, I think it's all horrible. And some people will probably condemn us for saying things like that.
Whatever.
But you know what? We're trying to have a little bit of satirical fun with this sort of stuff. We're going to show you somebody down the slide here that goes way too far as disparaging somebody, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah.
And that's, again, Chanda, you like who you like. I'm going to like who I like. And anybody else, you guys like who you like. And let's just go like that. And let's unite on where we agree. Let's not fight about what we disagree on, if possible. So that's where I'm at.
No, it's not a hate. It's a term of affection, actually.
Yeah, it really is. They're giving us,
if somebody called me Crackhead Barbie, I'd laugh. I'd just feel like,
she's giving us material to work with, and we need it. Right. God damn it. I'm not much help to Chanda these days. We've got...
this right here is some crazy shit.
Now this young lady or young person is a Democrat running in New York. Is that correct?
No, she is a state senator for Rhode Island, and she's running for re-election.
Oh, re-election.
This is your Democratic state senator from Rhode Island. Let her roll.
Let's check it out. Very talented.
So talented.
Some people have applauded State Senator Tiara Mack, while others say the video was totally inappropriate for an elected official. I asked my next guest how they felt about an elected official shaking her ass online and asking for votes.
What do you think about that, Oz?
I don't think it's appropriate behavior for a representative. If that was a personal TikTok and she didn't have anything to do with asking for votes, I'd perfectly fine. Why not? What's the problem?
Yeah.
People do shit. Have fun, right?
Yeah.
But yeah.
But don't associate it and link it to your election campaign.
Yeah,
that was I mean, what if kids are seeing it? Oh, come on. Like,
kids see shit all the time. It's just my thing is, once again, you were elected by a huge swath of people, different ideas and everything else, and you do your best to represent everybody within your district. And I don't think that's necessarily a good idea, but hey man, who am I? I'm nobody. So that's
I hear you.
That's it. I brought this. We have an announcement. You guys got this morning. I know I did. I was just thrilled to death hearing this. Just peachy keen with this. We'll see how you feel about it, Chanda.
We are following breaking news here at the live desk coming in just out of the nation's capital. The U.S. announcing a new $1.7 billion in aid to help Ukraine, specifically to help pay healthcare workers still trying to treat patients even after hospitals have been bombed or closed because of Russia's invasion. The money is strictly for humanitarian purposes, coming from the U.S. Agency for International Development, the Treasury Department, and the World Bank. Just last week, the U.S. announced it was sending $400 million in military equipment to Ukraine as well.
Wow. You know, I saw a nice breakdown of the $100 billion dollars. Is it $100 billion? Right?
1.7 billion.
No, that we're giving them now. But what Ukraine has gathered over the last fucking 6 months is $100 billion.
I thought it was 55 billion.
No, we gave them 55, but all the other Europe states are giving them money too. When you add it all up, all their donations, they're sitting at over $100 billion. But they need more. Oh, wait.
Yeah, and we do have people on the ground over there pulling the Vietnam thing where they're training and doing maintenance and all this other stuff. They're just not participating.
Could you imagine
actively.
If we use that money here at home for our communities and for our infrastructure and for our healthcare system? Oh my God.
They
need it for theirs.
Didn't Bill Clinton's campaign, wasn't the catchphrase, it's the economy, stupid?
Was that Bill's? I don't remember.
Yeah, I think it was. I think Bill Clinton's campaign slogan, it's the economy, stupid. And that's when I wish I would have voted for Ross Perot. I think I did vote for Ross Perot.
I was going to vote for Ross Perot,
Yeah,
but
I think
last
I did,
minute
because Ross Perot
Clinton.
was right. All we hear anymore is sucking sounds. And he was absolutely right, in my opinion.
He was. I look back now and I go, I may have been young and dumb and I was told I was idealistic and I was going to outgrow that. But no, I still identify with the same things I was identifying with them.
Well, I think we've just gained a little more knowledge to get us there.
Yeah.
But this
learn what don't work.
$55 billion from the U.S.
Yep.
Homelessness, hunger, infrastructure. Holy shit.
Yeah.
And I told you guys several weeks ago, they're nickel and diming their way to $1 billion. And every time they can jump to a 1.7 billion that they don't think they're going to get a lot of steam back, they will fluff it up like, this is just for hospitalization assistance to pay them over there to help people who are getting murdered by whoever. We know, and it's all the good stuff. We did the round of the billions of dollars of weapons the last couple of times at million or $500 million increments. So to me, they think you're stupid. But
they hope you're stupid. They want you to be stupid.
They want us to be apathetic. They want us to be locked down. They want us to shut up and just sit down. Because they've got this, don't ask any questions. They've got us in line. And that's what they're doing. And this needs to end. If you want prices to seriously go down and things to get better on everybody, and think about people who are in other countries, not just the United States.
Yeah, we're always going to be a little bit more comfortable than everybody else.
Yeah, I mean, but our gas, the food, everything. Over in the UK, they're going to have heating problems.
Germany is in deep shit, and they gave $1 billion.
Their economy is crushing.
They didn't have any money, and they gave the Ukraine $1 billion.
What the hell's going on?
Why do you do that? What the hell? Why? That's normally the money that's funneling into Israel. So
the money
moved maybe.
God, no. This needs to end. And the sanctions and end this giving money, because
Stop
every
hurting
time
the
we need
people of the
money for
country.
something in this country, it's like how are we going to pay for it? It's like pulling teeth. But he can just sign an executive order and send 1.7 billion to another country. And what's this shit, Chanda, about him sending part of our oil reserves overseas? What the hell's that about?
Yeah. Well, they're just going to open everything up for drilling. They have to, and that's will be what we'll be facing in the next few years.
So what you're saying is they are reducing our oil reserves, and that has to be replaced, I guess. So they're going to make the excuse, well, our oil reserves at an all-time low, we have to open up drilling. Is that what they're doing? Instead of...
Yeah, that's what they're going to do. And they're going to say, these countries aren't depending. We need to be supplying them, and we need to be helping them because...
With the war
Russia,
effort.
China. Yeah.
With the war effort. I want to remind everybody, what's one of the biggest causes of catastrophic climate change? The military.
Yes, the military industrial complex.
Military.
Thank you.
So let's stop this imperialist war shit and get onto the climate, because that is the cannon that has the fuse lit.
Never going to stop.
That is in our face right now.
Can I break down
catastrophe.
A reality for you and everybody else?
Please.
When you know the history of our world wars, World War I and World War II. World War II really was created with the way that they handled World War I, right?
Yeah.
World War III will be the same. It will be built off of the bad agreements and treaties that we made in the end of World War II, because it all comes down to money, right? And the quest for Israel to become Israel's statehood. So sadly, I don't see us getting out without some of those IBC missiles coming. I don't. I absolutely don't. When you understand the perpetuation of World War, big toys, they got to be played with. And, that was what World War I was about. It was about manufacturing and getting rifles out and the things that they could manufacture for the first time. Gas, vehicles, right? We had our first Jeeps and vehicles in World War I. And then World War II was about plane production and, battleships and aircraft carriers. And it's about enriching the military industrial complex suppliers, right?
We need to force them to convert the military.
We never will.
It needs to be, the military needs to be converted over to energy to take care of the energy issues, I agree. Agriculture and everything. All of that the infrastructure, all of that money that they're dumping in, murdering people around the planet for, their resources that they're going to need should be converted over into helping save this planet from the disasters that we have in front of us. And until people get out of their easy space on the computer and get out on the street and do something, that's not going to happen. So, we're right there with you guys.
Yeah, we're already in the war. We call it a proxy war. We call it whatever.
This is smacks of Vietnam so bad it makes me sick.
Yeah.
So again, Fiorella Isabella, you brought this Fee Says. We're moving the Fee Says and the Sabby Says up in the deck a little bit. So
heck yeah, the U.S. has not exceeded the amount spent during the first 5 years of the war. Has now exceeded. Okay, the U.S. has now exceeded the amount spent during the first 5 years of the war in Afghanistan to counter Russia and support Ukraine via weapons, aids, and leaving it and Europe's economy in crisis. And that's the bottom line. Yeah.
Yeah. So it only took us 2 years to flush all that money into the coffers of the military-industrial complex. They're getting better at it.
Doing much longer than that. Yeah, they definitely are.
They're getting better at that. You brought this little meme right here too.
Let me move down there so I can find it. Therapy doesn't solve being overworked and underpaid. Antidepressants can't cure poverty.
Yeah. No, hell.
Antidepressants can't cure poverty. I know. I tried for many years to antidepressant my way out of the reality that we're in. Yeah. And I almost died from it. So,
I took mine. I couldn't take them. I took, there was a drug called Celexa. And believe me, I tried a bunch, but...
No, me too. Wellbutrin, Prozac.
I had to throw it away, guys, because it made me not care about things that I had to care about.
Yeah.
And I
That's what they
realized
want. They don't want you to have any empathy or care about anybody else. Yeah, no, that's exactly. There's a lot of reports that say Tylenol has that effect on people.
I wouldn't be surprised.
And the population as a whole, the empathy for those who took it and those who didn't. Yeah. You lose your empathy when you take these meds.
Long live the pharmaceutical companies. Now,
they will live long.
This is special. I was going to bring this last show, but we ended up taking it off. But I held it over because
nice.
Sabrina, Eric, you and Sabby just kill it over there on the regular. And Sabrina, I love it when she gets feisty, because she doesn't get feisty like this all the time. But when she does, I just love it. So here we go. Take it away, Sabby Sabs. Truth to power all the way.
Third, fourth, fifth parties. But I do also think, especially on a local level, you have DSA.
If you want to grow third parties, fourth, fifth parties, that's admirable. But Katie is letting you know that she is going to operate in the system that is in place. That's reform. Let's operate in the system that we have in place, and let's try to make some tweaks here and there. But let's not override the system. Let's not break the system. Let's not really shake the fuck out of the system. That's the difference between reformists and people who want some type of revolution, who want complete change. There's a difference from people who have a sense of urgency and people who do not. For those of you who are poor, who are working class, who have that sense of urgency, who know what it's like to not have health insurance, who know what it's like to make $7.25 an hour, who know what it's like to you working at a hospital, but you can't even afford to go to the damn hospital. I was one of those people. You know what it's like to wait tables at a restaurant that you can't afford to eat in yourself. For those people, this reform strategy, it is not happening fast enough. It is not bringing any real tangibles to their life. It is not giving them any type of change. And by the time there will be some type of change that comes through, it's not going to fucking matter, because you'll probably already be dead. This is the difference between the people who are comfortable enough to tell you all you have to do is just keep putting progressives into the Democratic Party and eventually we'll get there. Now, they'll tell you, like Katie just said, if you want to start a third party or a fourth party, that's great too. If you want to do direct action, that's great too. We can do all of these things, but they're not doing all of them. They're not. You know who is doing all of them? People like me, people like RBN, people like Hardlands Media. Honestly, the smaller channels. That's who's doing all of them. Let's be real. If you look at those of us from RBN, where did we come from? We were activists. We were heavily Bernie supporters. Some of us canvassed for Bernie Sanders, donated to Bernie Sanders and AOC and the rest of the members of the squad. We came from activism, and we came from trying to do that reform strategy.
She's right.
We already been there. That's why we telling you, you got to do something different.
Yep.
So we did it their way. And we were doing activism on top of it. And we're supporting third parties. And speaking of third parties, the same people, they'll tell you, yes, we can do all of them. Do you see them bringing third party candidates on their show? You know who is? Me and my comrades over at RBN. Hardlands Media. The only large network that I see doing this stuff, as much as people like to complain and point fingers about him, is Jimmy Dore.
Yep.
Yeah, and I left that cut in there to where she
Yeah.
pointed out Jimmy Dore. I mean, we don't worship at the altar of Jimmy Dore. I think he brings great content, and he does exactly what she said. And I want to point out something here, because it has a direct effect on how we're going to view one of the stories down the line here. Did she trash Katie Halper in any way? Did she disparage her?
She just called her comfortable, and that's how I would handle it too. I could tell you a bunch of things in the green room that I think that I wouldn't, because it's a personal thing, personal attack. But no, for her professional, she is comfortable, and that's why I understand Katie's mentality, because I actually had to grapple with that for many years when I was inside the Dems. And you keep justifying it as if we're not there pushing back against the total locked in, dinos that are in there, then we're going to lose anything and everything. But what they don't realize is we, at the very bottom, we have already lost anything and everything. Yeah. We've lost. We lost when we had Bernie. When we lost Bernie, we knew. And some of us stayed after just to keep fighting back. But that was 4 freaking years ago, 5 years ago, 6 years ago. How many years? I mean, more people are suffering, more people are dying, more people are going without. And we don't have time to keep waiting for 10, 20, 30 years to just, let's just get rid of once Pelosi's gone and once Schumer's gone, then we'll be able to do anything. No, we've been saying that for years and years and years. They are all the same corporate entity. We can't keep doing the same thing inside of this duopoly. We need some kind of revolution on the ground. And she nails it like she always does. And it's about class. It's always about class. And that's where Katie's in that little higher class.
Yeah, she's at least in a more comfortable bubble.
Yeah, definitely.
And I'm not going to disparage her either. And I just want to point out again, those who are serious about what they're doing don't need to call horrible names or things like that. Sabby never does that. She has her moments where she gets feisty. She's human, and I appreciate that about her. So again, Eric and Sabby, keep it up over there. We really appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed over to Sabby Sabs, please like and subscribe. Please follow her, because like she said, it's the smaller channels that bring us together as that village that we need to make things happen. And one of these days, we're going to see each other on the streets, because I think that's what it's going to come to. And if people like Halper or Cheriton or the rest of them, if they have this thing in their head that we've already lost, it's hopeless, so we've got to play their goddamn game, that's true nihilism to me. That's where you're giving up.
Yes, it is.
Instead of keeping up the fight and calling out the bullshit. And I can't.
It's a failed strategy. You don't just keep coming at them the same way. No, we need a different strategy. And third parties and movements on the ground, and you and I walked away from that. And I just want to say, until the idiots that are propping up the Democratic Party realize they're propping up the Democratic Party, they're the ones keeping it alive. It's their donations and it's their canvassing and their footwork, groundwork that's keeping that damn party afloat.
And I'll say this, because here's my hypocrisy showing through. I was an idiot and I was a chump thinking and buying their bullshit for however long, okay? And if that's the worst thing I call you, as an idiot and a chump, I mean it with all the love I can give you, but that's just my opinion. I don't think you're a horrible person, and I don't think you dislike some particular demographic of people.
But it hurts us.
Yeah, it's just not it. So anyway, again, Sabrina Salvati's bringing it, and our sisters and brothers in the smaller channels are getting it done. And some of these smaller channels are growing quite quickly. And I think
I'm so proud of Heartlands, those guys over there. I've known Kit since 2017 when he was just a guy with a cell phone going around interviewing people at the People's Summit.
Yeah, I want to see Brother Franco out there more asking the hard questions in such a thoughtful way and holding them to task,
Yeah, he's another one that I love, that he doesn't personally attack people.
No,
he
it's
just
not
gets
about
to the point, the heart of the matter.
And again, we all are going to have a bad day, so don't hold it against us if you wouldn't mind. But nobody's
I don't care
perfect.
anymore. People are always pissed at what we say and do. So
I know. I'm not very popular in the boomer community. I let it fly the other day what I thought of boomers, and I don't think my boomer sisters and brothers would appreciate me, but
you are a boomer, so you're allowed to speak your mind.
I think I can speak to that. What is this? What Georgia?
The Georgia Guidestones, of course, they blew up. We haven't had a chance to talk about it, but I brought you guys a story about Georgia Guidestones, 2 years ago where I really broke it down, who it was, what it was, and why it's there. And I'm just going to say bottom line is somebody went after Bill Gates with this one because, this is the eugenicist freaking transhumanist movement.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it totally is.
Let's see what this is all about. Oh, my God. No sound to this one?
No, it's just the things blowing up at 3:33 in the morning. How crazy is that?
3:43.
This is them escaping after. They blew it up at 3:33 a.m., which is satanic enough. But
Oh, did they catch him?
No, they don't have any clues other than a silver car. But they had a camera on it, right? Because it keeps getting vandalized. And then 2014, I want to say we had a cube that was new that showed up and was added to the top of the. So there was things being added by whoever commissioned this. And so, I have this amazing little book here that my mom gave me years ago, and it has the 10 biggest conspiracies. And I've got a whole bunch of really cool little inserts with it. Huh. So here's the book, and it's the 10. And of course, it's Brad Messer. He's a sellout who's always on History Channel. And they give you all these really cool, little pull-out things. And so here's the Georgia Guidestones. Oh. And what's on each one of them, the commandments that's on them. And then you get a little...
the 10 Commandments?
Well, yeah, they're like the 10 Commandments. Oh, okay. And it's notes. So here it is. It's down right there. So there's notes in there of how humanity should conduct themselves, right? And like I said, I've done breakdowns on this. I know you can go find it in our older stuff of who it is and what it is. But this has been a point of contention for a long, long time. And the alt-right has been attacking it, right? We've seen the candidates that are running for the GOP, talk about how this is satanic and blah, 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 and it needs to go. And when you look at the things that are on it, some of them aren't that bad. Some are ones we all agree with,
golden rule stuff or what?
Yeah, they're kind of like golden rules, like no brainers, like be one with nature and blah, blah, blah. What becomes the problem is when they're like, oh, we got to kill most of the population and live under, 500 million and one language for everybody. right? So when I saw this get blown up the other day, I was like, oh, this is somebody going after the eugenicist crowd, because that's what it is. I mean, that's what. When you look at the Rosicrucians and who commissioned this and who's been taking care of it for the last 40 years. Yeah.
Well,
see, look at that.
Yeah.
333. That's exactly when it blew up. And that's supposedly some crazy, number.
Multiply it by ×2 and you can break my brain.
Right. So everybody's losing their shit over this. That was that very next morning, CERN gets cranked back on. Right?
Oh, cool. Yeah, I like that. You got a little meme up there. Someone blew up the Guidestones. CERN rebooted. Oh my God. Well, yeah, have a beer, enjoy yourself.
Have a bear. So this next one, this happened this afternoon. This is breaking news. So
hey, make sure that you hold on to that paper doll Georgia Guidestone. It's probably a collector's item now.
Oh yeah, this thing is so cool. It's got all the conspiracies in here.
Well, I like the Georgia really cool. Guidestone thing you got. Can you make me one?
Yeah, I'll send you one.
Okay,
it has all of them written on it. Yeah. So anyways, there was a time capsule that was buried under the Georgia Guidestones, supposedly, right? And it had a headstone, whatever. Well, they dug it up today, and they didn't find anything. Here's is this Dabu 7? I think this is Dabu 7.
Dabu 7. Okay, let's check out Dabu 7.
This is Dabu 7. For those that missed it, this is quite an update to everything with the Georgia Guidestones, and really could be the final chapter with the whole thing. As most know, the Georgia Guidestones had a pillar blown apart, and then they brought it down. Then they removed the plaque that was on the ground and dug where the time capsule was supposed to be. They're saying they found no time capsule.
No surprise.
All they've provided is this hole, this massive hole, showing the guy measure right here, going down 6 feet deep, and they're saying that they never discovered anything. Of course, this wasn't on video per se, the whole thing. We don't know if they found anything or not. The capstone or the stone that sat up there on the ground, that plaque, has been taken to a museum But on it, it said underneath 6 feet deep was a time capsule. There seemed to be something there because the grass would not grow in that spot.
Ooh, that's spooky.
You guys don't know. A lot of you guys don't know what the Georgia Guidestones are. I've been screaming about this conspiracy for 20 years now. There are granite stone monoliths. They're carved, and they were commissioned in 1980 by an anonymous donor named R.J. Christensen.
How can he be anonymous if you got his name?
Well, that was his pseudo name. Okay. Anyways, because when you go to track the original guy down who wrote the check and who was paying the people for it, it gets really shady and cloudy. And there's some great movies out there. You guys look it up. And it basically, it's wrote in 7 different languages, I want to say. Many different languages. And it's a guide to those of us that are still left at the end of the world on how to rebuild and what not to do.
Yeah, I remember that. They had this big gold record that would play the origin of man. Oh, I'm sorry, I got the wrong thing. That's the Voyager spacecraft.
That thing's out there in space flying around, what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's where the aliens get an idea of how to kill us. So
they're like, oh, they're squishy organic, man. That's easy to take out.
I want to point this out up in the corner, Chanda. I had a great weekend watching Sri Lanka take over the palace, and then I turn over and see somebody was protesting to disrupt life in the posh town in the Hamptons, which was great.
Oh, how dare them invade the Hamptons? Oh God, the rich people don't like that.
I was trying to get the hashtag fly, and I never can get a hashtag to go, but I tried hashtag the Hamptons and Martha's Vineyard. So it was hashtag Sri Lanka, the Hamptons, and Martha's Vineyard. And I really would rather see them protest at Martha's Vineyard because I got a soft spot for Obama's new bread.
I know. Yeah.
You
can even get within 100 miles of that.
No, you can't. This is great. They're going to put it to good use, huh?
Well, yeah. So now they got an empty field. So coming soon, Dollar General.
Okay. I was hoping for a Kmart, but they don't make Kmarts anymore, do they?
Yeah. No. Oh my gosh. No, they don't.
Oh, what the hell? Are you going to break my brain with black holes now?
So no, this is okay. CERN. We've been talking about CERN for a long time. And of course, there's been an update to CERN. They did a rebuild and they super upgraded. They gave it more power, as Tim the Tool Man would say.
Yeah.
And they're looking for dark matter and dark energy. And they fired it off this week. Hopefully there wasn't no marmies hanging out, but I don't know. Shit's always weird. So
damn marmots. Is that Poikadin and pasta with a marmot?
Right.
Shit?
Well, no, that was real. That was a real report that the scientists said that they found it dead. It was crispified. It got killed. They pulled it out of there. But, there's a lot of stories. There used to be a lot of stories back when YouTube didn't suck about the physicists working there talking about how the ghosts, they brought entities over and that they were being haunted and messed with there at the CERN facility itself.
Ghostbusters. Who you gonna
Ghostbusters,
call?
yeah.
All right, well, let's check this out because I heard that they were looking for dark energy in some abandoned oil well. So I don't know what
your ass.
No, I it's true.
That's funny.
3, 2, 1. Remote stable.
Excitement and relief as the Large Hadron Collider subsystems whirl back into action, setting a new world record. Colliding its first protons again after 3 years of upgrades, faster than ever before. The data, which is open to the public for analysis, is streaming in. Already, scientists have discovered 3 new exotic quarks, the tiniest particles ever found. They exist for just 100,000th of a billionth of a second.
Wow, that's
It
fast.
could give us answers about the origins of the universe and its fate.
Wow.
Yeah. So they did that this week. They cranked that up, and it's open source. But here's the thing: they just figure they have the smartest people that are knowledgeable about this out there. So they'll go ahead and put it out there. You're not going to know what they're talking about.
No, you're not. I'm just worried about them ripping a hole in the fabric of time or something like that.
What's the LHC? The LHC is the Large Hadron Collider. You may have heard of CERN. CERN and the LHC are two different facilities that work within the same tunnel. And they kind of have they're kind of the same machine, but two different, mechanisms within the machine. So CERN and the LHC are two different total things.
And
totally
don't worry, they don't sacrifice puppies there. But they do some funky dances.
Yeah, go check out the CERN opening dance. If you've never watched it, it will blow your mind for how satanic and crazy it is. Yeah. If it's still up, because,
Yeah, they leave all that puppy sacrifice to Fauci and company.
I know, poor Beagles.
Yeah, that's
Baby
it.
Beagles.
So you called it, you've been calling it for what, over a year now? Lake Mead?
Lake Mead.
There is probably no single area holding so much of charm and beauty and the good things of life as Southern California.
Between 1940 and 2020, the population of 3 states came to encompass nearly 16% of the entire population of the United States of America. As Americans became upwardly mobile and were told to see the USA in your Chevrolet,
days, right?
they pushed westward, settling in California, Arizona, and Nevada in that order. Between 1940 to 2020, the population in these 3 states rose from 7.5 to 49.5 million collectively, and water has had to keep pace every step of the way. Along with the population explosion came concerns over water use, but really what that's amounted to is a session of good old-fashioned Russian roulette, with states in the region constantly banking on there being enough snowpack and rainfall in the Rockies to keep the lake full and allow them to carry on without any restrictions. With Nevada and Arizona imposing various laws and restrictions over the years, efforts were at least being made to try and mitigate the resource. But what about California? Now wait, hold on, stop for a minute. My wife and I absolutely love California. San Diego is our go-to vacation spot, so consider this a disclaimer with what I have to say next. You see, while Nevada and Arizona have been fighting for years to conserve water, the Imperial Valley Irrigation District has remained the largest water user of the entire Colorado River. This district in California, as far back as 2010, was regularly overdrawing its share of water from Lake Mead.
I fished in that.
Back in 2010, the same Imperial Valley Irrigation folks saw fit to freshen the dead Salton Sea.
Thanks to my daddy, I fished a lot of the reservoirs.
Just as Lake Mead was hitting an, at the time, all-time low level of water. So it seems to be these sorts of overruns and complete blind spots in the government that lead to poor water management at a time when an explosion in the population, combined with the need to keep the water levels consistent, meant that any little change to the system could throw it severely off balance.
So this channel, I'm going to drop this link. This channel is called Not Leaving Las Vegas, and they've done a really good job of going in and getting video of what's going on and explaining it. And I just want to say that it's not just Arizona that's the problem. It's not just Lake Mead. Colorado River goes through multiple states. It is the water source for California. It is the water source for Arizona. It is the water source for Nevada. And just because other lakes, they're letting water out to the other lakes. We talked about Lake Powell last year a lot because it dried up so bad. And so they're having to send the water to other places, but it's gone. It's
water
so fast,
conservation has not been a priority to some for a long time, and if your carrots are going to go bye-bye too. The San Joaquin Valley in California.
I know, everything. All they do is almonds there now.
Yeah, and that almond milk is something that's ridiculous. The amount of water they use for almond milk is crazy.
70 gallons of water for to process an almond seed, I want to say.
Yeah, it's crazy. What do we have here? Left flank veterans?
It says, oh, yeah, left flank veterans. So President Joe Biden is not backing off his plans to nominate an anti-abortion attorney to a lifetime federal judgeship in Kentucky. Why? Because Democrats are Republicans. Quit falling for it.
Yeah, really need to quit falling for it. We had a treat the other day. Jimmy was in Chicagoland.
He was in Chi-Town, yeah.
Yeah, and he had a nice conversation with Kit. You brought this. You got the cuts. What are they talking about here?
Okay, so Kit just puts it out there. Jimmy, you gonna run? And this was a 20-minute answer. If you haven't seen this, go over to our friends over at Heartlands Media and watch the whole entire interview. But the 20-minute answer for will he run, I caught the very end of it to sum it up for you.
He's not going to run.
Oh, no.
Might help if I hit the right key.
You got it.
Again, but what would it take for a Door 2024 run? Would you even consider it? I know you said I know you wanted somebody else to carry that message.
I really do. I'm not fucking around. I really don't want to run for president. I have, I don't deal with. I have a lot of stress in my life.
Yeah.
And so I've been trying to figure out how to deal with stress, right? How to de-stress. Just as a comedian, I had stress. In Hollywood, coming out trying to make it. It was super stressful. It's when you get to Hollywood, as a white guy comedian, 30 years old, that's the last thing they need. They don't need another white 30-year-old guy in Hollywood, And so I remember I started grinding my teeth in my sleep. And I started cracking my teeth in my sleep. Not good, right? And so that's how, I can consciously hold shit together, but you're unconscious, you have no control over. And so that's what gets me in my sleep. So in my sleep, since people have started to ask me to run for president, people who I respect has asked me to run for president. I started biting my cheek in my sleep, and I started getting canker sores, which is from stress. And it's just like, I can't. So it's just, if I consciously want to do it, that doesn't mean my unconscious is going to go along with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it's just, I'm trying to find ways to de-stress. I have high blood pressure. I'm on 3. I just cut one out. I'm on 2 blood pressure medicines. So I quit drinking to lower my blood pressure and to lose weight. And that was a big de-stressor for me. I would have a couple of cocktails every night.
Yeah, there comes a point in time in our lives when we need to cut down on the libations, and I am to that point.
Oh yeah,
I'm lucky.
I've been there for a long time.
I get my gin and tonic when I do a show once in a while, and I get a glass
he's
of wine.
fun. Let me tell you.
Yeah, so
you are fun when you're giddy.
Yeah, I like to be giddy more than sad, but my blood pressure is really stable. But we're coming up on a story where my blood pressure went up a little bit tonight, and I hope you guys stick around for that. It's a few slides away, and it's quite controversial, and we'll parse it right. We don't want to offend anybody, but we don't want to be disingenuous or liars either.
Right, or avoid it because it's an uncomfortable topic.
It is it's a very uncomfortable topic, and the only reason that I want to do it is because we're genuine. We're not full of shit. So if you agree with us, great. If not, maybe you can sway us to think the other way. I don't know. Anyway, we got
try me.
We got you ain't swaying Chanda on that one. Okay, what do we got?
Just a message from Snowden. We got to hear these things from time to time.
This is changing the world. Some could say the change has already happened. They've got lists about everybody. They've got more lists than Santa Claus, and you're on all of them. You have been hacked. But this is coming, and it's coming quickly. These are the things that nobody wants us to know, but everybody needs to know. We wouldn't know about any of this if people weren't willing to take risks to tell us, the public, what is being hidden from us. Whenever a great institution, a great power, a great government is embarrassed, or their policies are called into question in a way that challenges their power on a fundamental level, right? Not at the edges, not in a way they can easily change, but something that goes right to the heart of what they claim an authority is that belongs to them and them alone. They say these people are traitors.
Do you think he's a traitor?
I know he damaged the country, and the Obama administration will deal with it.
I've got to be careful here, Major, because Mr. Snowden is under indictment. He's been charged with crimes, and I can't weigh in specifically on this case at this point.
You think Edward Snowden was a traitor in revealing it?
I can never condone what he did. He stole millions of documents, and the great irony is the vast majority of those documents had nothing to do with American civil liberties, privacy, or anything affecting us here at home. They were about information we had vis-a-vis China, Russia, Iran, others.
If I am a traitor. As these generals and presidents and all these figures say, the John Kerrys of the world, who is it that I betrayed? The information that I revealed didn't go to the Chinese, it didn't go to the Russians, it didn't go to the Brazilians, it didn't go to the French. It went to American journalists, right? That all made an independent editorial determination. Not just this is what some crazy guy at the NSA thought the world needed to know. Not just Americans, but everyone needed to know. But what the newspapers thought the world needed to know. This is why we have a free press in open societies. The whole reason they exist is to challenge the monopoly on information held by the most powerful and influential members of our society.
We have to fight for a free press, and we haven't had one in a long, long time.
Yeah, we don't. We haven't had democracy. We have not had democracy in God knows how long, decades.
Yeah, decades.
No matter what, and I'll argue with the biggest, baddest academics out there, we have no democracy.
Right,
period.
and you can take it back to like the fairness doctrine and that Reagan did away with in the 80s. I mean, you could. There's another one that Clinton got away with or did away with, which was the. Oh gosh.
It was the Communications Act.
It was the Communications Act under Clinton. Exactly. Yeah. So, I mean, they just been whittling away at the free press, and then they allowed all these corporations to come in as monopolies. And yeah, there you went. There went your free press. So even if Snowden is, say he leaked it to American journalists. Yeah. But nowadays, they wouldn't touch that with a 10-foot pole, I don't think.
No,
not with the type of censorship we're living under right now with Julian Assange sitting in prison.
They're owned by the very entities that Snowden exposed.
Right.
So there you go.
Yeah, we never had one. You're probably right, Pat. We probably never have had one.
Yeah.
Just the illusion.
Brother Eric says we need to have a movement. We do, and not a bowel movement. Some of us.
Which is what we've done for the last 6 years, it feels like,
we've done
right? We just shit ourselves.
Chris Hedges said something in one of his deals. I've been passing some of the old Hedges fan club clips around,
I still appreciate it.
Trying to educate some of these folks, aside from where we disagree with Chris, most of the time we do agree with policy. But he said we cannot stay in lockdown mode. We can't stay in our homes. We have to get out in the street. We have to face this thing face to face.
That's not what's going to happen.
If you stay home, if you stay away, that's what they want. They want to keep you sequestered out of the discussion. There will be a day when we must get out there. We must break out. It's imperative we break up big tech. It's imperative we push back on our government because they are not working at the behest of the public or for the best of the people. They're working at the behest of the oligarchs, the wealthy. Yep. And that's all there is to it. And I encourage you again, any of you in any of the states, go to Open Secrets, make a list of the donors to the incumbents that you have in your district, and publish it any way you can. If you got a couple extra bucks, buy a quarter page in your local newspaper. But put it on the web.
Write a letter to the editor.
Write a letter.
They always have the
we
letter
have
to
to
the
push
editor
back
section.
on these damn politicians. And that's one way to do it. And if you have any other ideas,
but they don't care. They just cover for themselves and each
No,
other's,
they
right?
do.
I mean, we've called the Dems out to their face, toe to toe, for years, and it doesn't.
They've got each other's backs because it's a giant money-making scheme for them. Is this Dr. Campbell or is this Jimmy?
This is Dr. Campbell on Jimmy Dore, but did you see what's going on?
About them finding out. We can't talk about that, can we?
No, we're gonna broach it very carefully. But our predictions that we have been saying since they lifted the you can't go out. They're coming back. They're coming back, and they're starting to build. So the little engine that could is starting to rev up, and as we head into fall, it's going to start really.
Let me ask this to the group. Anybody out there, any of our friends, sisters, and brothers in the chat, if you can kind of do a little research for us, I kind of know the answer to this about what has happened with those who had gotten the jab, and what's happening now. That's new information. So that'll be interesting too. But here we go. Let's go with this one.
There's a lot of people dying now than normal. There's more people dying now than normal. In the UK, 1,300 more people a week are dying than normal.
and they don't know why. Now, you know what the conspiracy theorists are saying? I don't think I can say it on this channel.
You can't.
But keep in mind, as far as COVID goes, I think the conspiracy theorists are about 5-0.
Yep.
And the people who have been lying have been Fauci and the government and the corporate media. It's captured by Big Pharma. So the liars here have been the usual suspects, the people in government, the people in corporations, and the people surrounding all that money. Non-COVID excess deaths, why are they rising? So I'm going to play a little bit of John Campbell. You know me, I like this guy, Dr. John Campbell. And he taught nurses how to be nurses for his whole life. And so this guy knows a lot about a lot. And here's what he says.
Well, welcome to today's talk, Wednesday, the 6th of July. We're looking at excess mortality. Now, basically, there's about 1,300 too many people per week dying in England and Wales at the moment, and we don't know why. It is not COVID-related. People are dying much more than we would expect based on previous years' averages. And I'm going to be giving evidence that suggests that this is not just a UK phenomenon. This is an international phenomenon. But we've got good quality data from the UK.
So it's happening all around the world. More people are dying in every country and every neighborhood than they normally would have before COVID. What changed? Well, let's look.
Where I want to look. So that's what this is about. We'll be giving some reasons why this might be happening. And we'll be trying to think a little bit about what we need to do about it as well. But it is definitely happening. There's been anecdotal reports about footballers and things having heart attacks. But this is definite statistical data now. So we can be sure about this evidence that we're about to give.
So he's talking about, we've all seen the videos of soccer players just collapsing with heart attacks. And apparently we never saw that before. I never saw people talk about that before.
I've even heard of that before.
I never ever heard of that before. Well, I did.
Our friends did over on Rockfin.
Hank Gathers, who was a top draft for the Boston Celtics, he had a heart attack playing basketball.
Yeah.
But they blame that
basketball.
They blame that on cocaine. But
of course,
how could soccer get you that excited that you have a heart attack?
Kurt.
No ranking on soccer. But okay, so yeah, we've been reporting this when we saw morticians across the country screaming that they see mortality rates are up 40% by their numbers. And yeah, I'm not going to say what it is. We've been saying what it is for 2 freaking years. And
sorry.
Our friends over on Rockfin have been nailing it. Jimmy says nobody was talking about this. Bullshit. Our friends on Rockfin were talking about it. Pasta was on it. You know, the Last American Vagabond has done an amazing job. Nah. People are talking about it, and we know what it is. You can't hide it. We know.
Moving along before we get struck out again. Brother Richie, you brought this, huh?
I went to Belmarsh Prison. Yeah, this was like a week ago.
Oh, yeah, he did. I watched this.
So here we are, guys. This is Belmarsh Prison. This is where Julian Assange is being held. This is the most notorious prison in London, in the UK. It's a category A prison, so in the US that's a maximum security prison. The type of people they put in here are terrorists, literally people from Al-Qaeda. And ironically, those people, right, like Abu Qatada, they've been given bail before, but not Julian Assange. Can't give him bail, right? Last time I was here, they came out, the guards came out and stopped me. They were not too happy about me filming, but you know, I'm here nevertheless. And honestly, just look at the back over there. It looks like Mordor. Right? It's the gates of Mordor.
Yeah, Mordor, yeah.
Like just the fact that they keep a journalist within these walls, along with terrorists and, you know, all sorts of criminals, is incredible. He's not even serving a sentence. He's not even serving a sentence. And they just chuck him in there with the worst of the worst. I was standing here almost 2 years ago. I'm back now. And what's changed? Nothing at all. The only thing that's changed is perhaps that, you know, Priti Patel has signed the Home Secretary, she signed the extradition order and basically made things worse. This is what journalism gets you in the UK. Is a sad state of affairs, right? This is what happens to you. This is your reward for being a journalist. They treat you like a terrorist, and then they want to ship you off to a country like the United States, knowing that country has plotted to kill you, has spied on you.
Yeah, the people of the UK, you better wake up too. You better get out there. It's
Yeah,
coming.
look at the journalist from Germany that Max interviewed.
Yeah.
And I worry
we
about
have to
Richie
say no, and
because he pushes back in some places
it
where they
takes-
don't like
yeah.
to be pushed back, like
Yeah.
Israel.
It takes numbers. It takes numbers.
It does
So
take
you
numbers.
can't have 30 people out there. You need 300,000 for starters. And once you do the Sri Lanka in this country times 10, then you'll be getting somewhere. You brought this, or did I bring this?
Never forget that people actually believe that one-way grocery aisles would save lives.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Do you remember that crazy
Yeah,
shit?
I
I'd be
saw
so
this.
pissed. People would be staring at you if you. I'm like, I have to walk all the way around to get in this aisle. No, like it ain't happening.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was crazy.
You're the bane of Walmart, so I pray to God they'd never
I gave
do that.
Walmart up. I officially have. I'm not there. I haven't been there in a while.
Yeah, what the hell is this about?
So U.S. star Dems, the share of U.S. adults who say they're extremely proud to be an American hit its lowest point on record dating to 2001. Now look at the chart. 2001, it's 55%, and then it shoots up to 70% in 03. What happened between 2001 and 03? Oh, Iraq, 9/11,
Yeah.
and then look, it's just plummeting.
Yeah, it's crash. And I guess Biden's approval ratings are, what, 33 today? 33?
94% of people under the age of 30 want to replace when pulled from the Democratic Party. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, they hate that diaper filler. I got to tell you, it's terrible.
No, they wanted Bernie.
Yeah, well, not anymore. I wouldn't take
Not
Bernie.
anymore. Yeah.
No,
Howard.
there's no way I would take him. He owes us. He owes us big time.
He does owe us.
Big time.
He owes every single person who was on Social Security and spent their last $3 to send him money, or their last $5, or went without gas in their car or food in their cupboard.
He's still
Yeah, it makes me
talking the
so
game.
mad.
He's
Yeah, I
still
know he
talking
is.
the game. That's, and they'll keep sending him money.
Yeah,
So here we
they
go.
will.
What do you got this before we get to the
Okay, so this is
controversial part of the show?
I got the trigger warning on this. This is our section where we're going to start talking about people who don't agree with the term of a woman being a birther person. Is that how it really started?
I
think
have
this
no
is how it
idea.
started.
I'm still trying to understand. So
Okay, so this is Jason Burmis. This dropped a couple of hours ago. I kind of worry that this will get us taken down. It might get him taken down. I guess we'll see.
live on the wild side.
Live on the wild side.
Will YouTube start a massive censorship campaign based on this new official policy of the World Health Organization, who was put in charge of everything, quote unquote, medical misinformation during the COVID 1984 era, and not only demonetize a massive amount of channels, but censor videos and eradicate any discussion of what biological sex means in this country and around the world. Because the new policy of the United Nations, folks, I want to make this very clear, is that sex is not limited to male or female. And this is on their official site. I want to make it very clear. They discuss this in quote unquote non-binary terms. In fact, we're going to zoom right in here before we really kick into the video and just read this subsection. Because now if you don't adhere to this globalist ideology based on the World Health Organization on the road to a very real new world order transhumanist agenda, you're a bigot and you're out. You're gone. It's over. The review and update process will build on the extensive work already featured in the manual, and it will focus on updating key concepts about gender. So now the ideology surrounding sex and gender is fluid. It's all fluid, because when you get down to it, when they tell you about non-binary zeros and ones, right? What is that really all about? It is about the dehumanization of our species and the massive lie that we are somehow zeros and ones, computer codes at the mercy of everything science, and that we can transcend our biology and become whatever we want, whenever we want, because reality no longer pertains to this planet and the policies that are enforced by big tech on behalf of the military-industrial complex.
Wow, that was a mouthful.
It was a mouthful, but and this is a subject that's hard to broach, and we see what we're going to see with the clips that you just brought. When people start making it personal about their opinion, I have my opinions, but that's neither here nor there. What we're talking about is what Jason just said. This is a much, much bigger changing of the language at the highest levels for a different agenda than what we're all fighting about. It's not about giving a person the right to call themselves this or that. It's about taking away all of our rights so that way they can come up with an androgynous species that they can program and turn into a cog with a machine. And we talk about this all the time. How many times have I said since we've been talking about this that the trans movement, the transhumanist movement is not about trans people. It's really not. It's about the merging of us with technology. And they have to strip our genders away from us before we will accept that we're all these things. We can all just become one with technology. Is the way I see it.
So is that just one angle, or is that that's
their angle? That's the angle that the WHO is with. That's the angle that the global elites have. The eugenicists people, that they want to be able to just grow babies in a lab in a bag, and only the rich will be allowed to order babies customly the way they want them. So it's not about our rights and our bodies and our personals. It's not. It's about ultimately what science will be able to do and create, and what they will call it.
Well, I know that we're no more than human capital anymore. And I want to disclose, Chanda did not bring the following clips. I brought these because I found them interesting, and I have a different kind of a take than some might think after you watch them. But
I haven't watched them. They made me mad. I turned it on for 2 seconds. Was like, no, I'm just going to save it.
Yeah, it raised my blood pressure a little bit, but not maybe for the reasons you might think. But this is TYT. This is Iderola, who I really can't stand, and that other clown over there. And that's about as disparaging as I'm going to get with these guys. I don't agree with them, and I don't know what their gig is sometimes.
We know that, though. We always tell people.
But let's take a look. TYT's made their bed. They got to lay in it. So
everyone who works on the Hill, their show Rising. No, there's an amazing moment that happened on Rising the other day where the two half talents who aren't very good at coming up with original ideas try to echo what they think they're supposed to say about dead naming, and lo and behold, wouldn't you believe that someone was on there to call them out for being stupid? Take a look.
Listen, for the dead name to trend, for something to trend, people have to be using it massively. It has to be being discussed. Let's not act like we don't know where that comes from. If we know that this is now a trans person, they go by Elliot Page, and there are a large amount of people calling them by their dead name, so much so that it trends, there is a deliberacy in there meant to offend this person because they do not go by that anymore. I don't know what is this big.
Well, if anyone was continuing to use it and not using the new name just to be, provocative or mean-spirited, right? I guess I would use the name, recognize their gender identity now.
For a very long time, and I'm sad we didn't get to hear from Kim Iverson, who's the worst, but I love shows like this because they're so bad. Like that show, and not every episode of this show is like that, and not everybody on it is like that. Even that guy Robbie, I think his name isn't always that god awful. But
he sounded reasonable enough in that clip.
He sounded reasonable enough in that clip, but then they they say that, and then they go off into this weird moment where they're like, but what if there's so many people who earnestly just want to say the dead name so they can remind.
I can't listen to much more of that. I'm going to have to move on to
Can
the
I
next
just
one.
point out the Katzenberg money that's in his background?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Because that's all Katzenberg money that funds this shit right here. And for him to go after Kim like that, it's disgusting because he is terrible.
Yeah,
this is terrible.
This don't throw stones if you live in a broken glass house, asshole. But that's the way it goes. Now, the one I wanted to get to was the one that blew up over the weekend. And there's mixed feelings out there with our sisters and brothers. And again, I'm going to tell you guys, I'm going to like who I'm going to like. I'm going to agree with them sometimes. I'm going to disagree with them the other. I hope you guys do the same. And I know you'll offer us the same respect because we're adults here. And I'm willing to have the conversation. But this one crossed a line with me. And it wasn't for the content so much. But just give this a listen. And I'm going to let this one play through. I've got it cut for... Yeah, it's a heavy one. It's 3 minutes.
Remind you of who this person is. That
it's just again. There we go.
Really, what this is about is they don't want to legitimize trans identities because they don't like trans people. That's what it is. That's what this is about. Plain and simple. They're hiding the ball here. Just say it, Kim Iverson. Just say that you don't like trans people, you don't respect them, and that's why you want to be able to dead name them. Just say it. Stop being a fucking coward. Just say what you really think. We all see it. You're very transparent. So just feigning ignorance isn't making your point any more valid. You want to disrespect trans people because you're an asshole. Period. That's what this is about. If you are not going to respect trans people, then you are a bad person. Period. End of story. You are. Wow. Sorry. So for you to pretend as if it's, I can't wrap my head around it. They changed their name. Oh my God. But you had a different name before. I mean, fuck. If this is so like intrusive to your mental space, like how do you go through life? It's like, if your significant other comes home and they get a haircut, you're like, wait, you used to have long hair. You cut your hair? What? You got a tattoo? Holy shit. I mean, is your brain really that fucking small? Are you not an adult, Kim Iverson? And fucking blonde hair guy? Are we not grown-ups? Can we not like grapple with very simple concepts? They can. They get it. Again, it's about
not a simple
just being an
concept.
asshole.
That's his
These
fuck
people
up.
are fucking dickheads. Maybe we should misgender them and see how they'd feel. Kim Iverson, bro, why should I respect your pronouns if you're not going to respect transgender people? Maybe this dude right here should fucking, get a taste of his own medicine. The viewers who watch this and think this is compelling, you have to have a low IQ. I'm sorry, you have to have a low IQ. This is Fox News shit. What's the point of turning to the internet for alternative resources if they're going to be saying the same reactionary boomer shit that you hear on Fox News or Newsmax?
Maybe he felt like being called Prince was. I mean,
I've explained it. Listen, go ahead. Go forth. Go.
That to me crossed the line, no matter what, because
that was a personal attack.
He was just disparaging the shit out of her, and who gave? And I've talked to Mike before. We've had a good chat. I've talked to him in a green room a couple of times. He seems like a nice guy. Grew up in the same town, close to the same area. But this, to me, was about as cowardly and gutless as you can get. Disparaging her and actually putting words in her mouth that she did not say. Maybe they implied that way, but honestly, the issue alone is a far more important issue than Mike gives it credit for. Right
exactly. He says this is simple. It's a simple issue. No, it's not. And I felt like Kim is at a much different level of education and understanding of the bigger picture than Mike is.
Well, and Mike, I think he's almost through his master's degree. And once again...
Oh, institutionalized learning.
Yeah, institutionalized. When you have that kind of education and you wear it on your sleeve in such an arrogant way, being the arbiter of who's intelligent and who isn't, or who has experience or who has a terrible opinion, and you call them stupid and dumb and ignorant, then you lose the whole conversation right there, Mikey. Honestly, and if you watch this, I hate to come across like this because I know in your core you've got a good heart because you want good things for people, but you just shot yourself down and made you look like a real asshole right there. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to bring the clip. I couldn't find the full clip, but I'm going to bring the clip that actually played from our other, sometimes questionable, if not more than often, Gavin and Zach over there at the Vanguard, and I don't think they do much better as far as being rude and unfair and cowardly. So let's see. Let's see if I'm wrong or right.
Accused of being transphobic. Gray, who is best known for her hit song I Try, received backlash for a comment she made during an appearance that aired Monday on Fox Nation's Piers Morgan Uncensored after discussing the topic of trans athletes.
And I will say this, and everybody's going to hate me, but as a woman, just because you go change your parts doesn't make you a woman.
Right.
Sorry.
You feel that?
I know that for a fact.
Midler sparked controversy when she tweeted on Monday, "Women of the world, we are being stripped of our rights over our bodies, our lives, and even our name. They don't call us women anymore. They call us birthing people, or menstruators, and even people with vaginas. Don't let them erase you. Every human on earth owes you." Oh, child.
They're going to be in trouble.
I agree with them.
No, I agree with them too, but you can't say these kinds of things in certain progressive circles at all. Look at J.K. Rowling, look at, any number of other perfectly, liberal people on the issues, and then because they don't talk about gender with the new language that's acceptable to a small number of deranged activists, you get yourself in trouble. And it happens time and time
also,
again.
just to break in really quickly,
I
if
believe
J.K.
Rodney
Rowling
said that.
made maybe one or two off-color comments that people found to be
Robbie.
problematic, people probably would have forgiven her and moving on, let's be honest. The problem is, we're talking about deranged. J.K. Rowling every single day is out here, fighting this culture war against the trans community and espousing these turf talking points over it. Like, that's literally her whole shtick at this point, day after day after day. Follow her on Twitter, you'll know what I'm saying. Again, it's not just some one-off comment. It's like what her whole identity has become at this point. So anyway, you want to talk about deranged? She's the deranged one.
But I didn't know Macy Gray had that view. I guess I didn't know Bette Midler either. And actually, Macy Gray was making the kind of stronger view, right? She was sort of denying the trans category entirely, whereas I guess Bette Midler was just objecting to the way the language is used, which kind of everyone thinks is crazy.
I don't think it's about denying the trans category. I mean, look, I am totally and completely supportive of trans rights. And
I am as well.
So it's not about that. It's that it's a different category. Right. So, I can be supportive. I could say, and I have trans friends that I am very I try to be supportive of as best as I can. Maybe, I don't know, maybe they tell me I'm not but it's trying to be supportive. It's saying, yes, I believe that you should have rights, but you're not a woman in the same way that a biological woman is a woman. There's different experiences that we don't share. I don't know their struggles at all. I mean, besides the conversations I have with those that I've been friends with while they were trying to transition or thinking about coming out and all of that, I understand this. I've heard the stories of the struggles, but I can't actually.
And they haven't had the same struggles you've had.
Exactly. They can hear about it, but they don't know the exact way it is being a woman, being born a woman biologically and having to go through certain things. So they're just different categories, equally needing rights. Nobody's, I think, wanting, maybe there's some people, but I'm not looking and you're not looking to rob them of any rights. We're wanting to extend rights, but at the same time, recognizing that there are different categories.
I simply do not understand the need or investment to exclude them, period. This is just an imaginary oppression. This whole, they're coming for us as women. You're a woman and your womanhood is unchallenged based on whether or not trans women are women too, or whether or not they want to be included or considered when we discuss women. A conversation about, the language.
You can't say the word woman.
We can say the word women. We can say the word. As someone, I don't know about the two of you, but as someone that is firmly in the leftist space with a leftist platform that knows all of the people that you consider crazies and deranged activists and very progressives, you see me say women all the time. I talk about abortion. I say women. I say women's issues. We talk about that, and it's not a problem. So this idea that the entire community are just crazies, unhinged, that won't let you say women is not true. Are there some individuals, outliers? Sure, absolutely. But what I think in general is trans people, the trans community does have, they are negatively impacted. They're not recognizing their personhood and exposes them to lots of danger. We saw so much violence in the trans community. Specifically, trans Black women are killed at like 4 times the rate of.
But not because they're trans.
Actually, that's not true. Actually, Robbie.
They're not being killed because of anti-trans bigotry. They're being killed because they're in sex work and
why? What do you think?
Yeah, they're all just a bunch of degenerates. That's why they're getting killed at higher rates. Yeah, thanks, Robbie. Anyway, to quickly address her other point too, which is that because Kim and Robbie say, "Oh, well, you can't even say women these days. You can't even say the word women because these crazy lefties have, hijacked the discourse or whatever." Bull fucking shit. Bull fucking shit.
All right. Once again, you're quiet, Chanda.
Yeah, I just I feel like I said what I need to say about this. It's a much bigger conversation. It's a higher conversation about the taking of our language so that way they can rewrite it for their transhumanist agenda that's coming for us. It doesn't have anything to do with what everybody's fighting about. Can you say women? You can't say women. You got to say this. You can't. That's not what it's about. That's not ultimately what it's going to be about when they use it against us.
Yeah, and it will be used against us, just like they're using the fight itself against us to keep us divided.
Oh, yeah.
Instead of focusing on the issues which are going to literally kill all of us, no matter where we are on things. And I have friends and family in all communities. I'm lucky to have experienced that. So I love all of my
We're on the far left.
friends
Of
in
course
humanity.
we have. I don't question that Kim has friends and that she cares and that she does support. I don't question that. I know that because she's on the freaking far left with us. I've watched her for many years. I don't always agree with Kim on much, but
yeah, I think I agree with her more than you do on stuff, but
Right.
not everything. Jesus Christ. Nobody's got the corner on knowledge, especially Mikey. So,
but Mikey knows. Yeah, Mikey
Mikey's
knows.
got that education thing on his sleeve, and I don't care for that because I experienced that way too much. And here's Kim responding to the Humanist Report. You wrongly stated as fact that I dislike trans people. This is defamation of character, and I plan to take legal action. If I were you, I'd gather solid evidence of my dislike for trans to present to a judge. And then she says, if someone wants to state or criticize my opinion, that's fine. But to make false statements and present them to your audience as fact is defamatory. Free speech is giving your opinion on something, not making stuff up for clicks. And I'm fine with people tearing apart my opinions, but to make them up entirely, ? You can say anything you want, but not without consequences. Says every woke liberal ever. We'll get ready for a dose of your own consequences in medicine. And you know what? If she has the means, which I understand she does, maybe she'll light him up a little bit and at least straighten him out as far as being a little less rude and not so provocative.
Watching his tongue a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was clickbait, is what it was.
All he had to do is say, in my opinion. That's all he had to say. But I think he was quite rude and disparaging. And I
go for it, Kim.
I wish we had
the Johnny Depp case proved that anybody could be sued for their defamation lies.
Yeah, again, I mean, this is a touchy subject, but I've got friends and family in every single community out there, and I'm so happy because I get to experience through them what they're going through. So that's where I'm at. So anyway, everybody, that's our drama portion for tonight's show. We have Dutch farmers who are having a blast. They are out there breaking into an Air Force base and takes a fighter to protest their government tyranny as far as the fertilizer issue. I think not growing any food is going to be the biggest gotcha for them. And you brought this. We've all played.
Dish Drain Jingo.
I got one going on right now. If you hear
I got one going on too.
Yeah, if you hear a big crash in the kitchen, then that's where we're at, guys.
I always crash mine first thing in the morning when I try to grab a coffee cup from the bottom of it. And everybody's sleeping, and then everything topples down.
It's like a little game. It's like a little game.
It is. I can get one more dish on here. I know I can.
Yeah. And then, we've got mass accumulation happens when mass numbers of workers are exploited for their labor and offshore to avoid paying taxes. Yeah, it's the oligarch against the people. And please stop the damn war. Call your congressional rep.
Yeah,
and tell them,
stop saying we need to support Ukraine.
Yeah,
stop it.
That whole.
Stop it. Did we support them enough? Have we not gave them enough?
$54 billion. I mean, you'd be better off to get on the phone and call Putin and say, hey, is there anything we can do as American people to stop this? Maybe he'll give you an idea.
Yeah, I saw somebody with a meme up the other day that said, when I see a Confederate flag and they're like losing their shit, and I comment, yeah, I feel that way when I see a Ukraine flag.
Yeah, I mean, really,
you guys drive me nuts with that shit.
Yeah. Mr. Gas Station, tear down these walls. I mean, these prices. And, sir, this is a Wendy's.
It's a Wendy's. It doesn't even drive anymore. I hope he's not driving anymore. So I brought this as Cheney is ready for January 6th. You know, we had a January 6th hearing this morning, but nobody gives a shit about that. But I got this from Savvy Sabs. I reported this story last night. Jeffrey Katzenberg is donating money to Liz Cheney. That's right. The same guy who gave TYT $20 million.
Oh, my God. There you go. There you go.
There you go.
Yeah, Chanda, we had a great show tonight. We're a little over, but not much.
Yeah,
but
not
I
much.
want to thank everybody. Before we go, we have the Scumbag of the Week award. And
Good job, Mikey.
Unfortunately, Mikey, for being an asshole, you got the Scumbag of the Week award. I think you were just totally out of line and unfair. And if you were really courageous, you would at least have a debate or discussion with Kim in an open forum. And
they can't, though.
Work it out. But you can't.
They just call names.
And you just call names, and how stupid we all are for not having our own opinions. So my opinion is, Mike is your scumbag this week. And I really hate that because I think you're a nice guy generally, but you had a bad day, brother.
Oh, you know what I'd like
day.
to see? I'd like to see Jason Burmis and Mike Figueredo. Jason would just like burn his scalp right off with facts and knowledge.
Yeah, that's the thing. Mikey's wearing his education on his sleeve, and
his indoctrination.
Yeah, I used to watch him all the time, but I had to give it up. He joined.
Yeah,
he joined,
I used to watch a lot of shit that I gave up.
Joined the wrong team over there, and I just didn't want to have the time anymore. So we've got Hot Summer Nights. Join us Saturday, 7 p.m. unless we get struck out again, in which case you'll have to go over to Rockfin. And we are.
Summer of 69.
Yeah.
We're doing the Summer of 69 this week. So
Yes,
join us. Woodstock.
Yeah. Dress up in your peace, love, sex,
Peace,
rock
love.
and roll outfit. Again, I want to humbly thank everybody. Thank you guys so much. For putting up with us, for enjoying what we bring or not, but just keeping us company because it does take a village. And you guys are definitely part of the village, and I know we agree most of the time. So we will get something going together there. Don't forget, you can still get the Moscow Magic Russian Blend and the Global South Gold. Just send me an email or a text, and we'll get it worked out. Great coffee, small package, goes a long way, but it's the best coffee you're going to have. We've also got, please write Chris, drop him a Julian. Chris has got the address here for Julian. It's still in there. And what other announcements do we have tonight before we go out?
We're just holding tight, waiting for my new Mercedes to be shipped out. And as soon as we're up and running again, full studio here, I'm going to be doing all kinds of crazy things. Own shows and engineering.
Yeah, Chanda is going to go full-blown engineer on us. And the difference between Chanda being an engineer and somebody who engineers their own show is she will have the ability to engineer other people's shows, kind of like Eric does for Savvy and I do for Convo Couch.
Right.
So that's what Chanda is going to be doing, and I think you're.
But I'll still be doing my own shows, and we'll still be doing Beauty and Boomer.
Yeah, and Chanda, you're going to be one of the first lady engineers, female engineers that I know of personally. I know there's more out there, but
there's more
I'm
out
looking
there.
forward to that, and
in our little circle.
Yeah, it's great. So.
And good news to Hellenbach's coming back. Pasta and I have decided that it's going to be pretty much a exclusive Rockfin, just because of the stuff we talk about over there. But yeah. Thursdays we'll be back. I don't know what time yet, but I'll let you know.
And being that you'll be an engineer, you'll be able to engineer it on your own too, which is great. I'm all for that.
I know you're so excited about it. Engineer yourself.
Get my face out of this barbecue for a while. That's what I need. But
Oz needs a break, so we're going to give him a much needed break.
Definitely. What are you going out with tonight? You got a good one, I think.
Yeah, this is a great NIN cover. The Hand That Feeds. Will you bite? The Hands That Feed.
Okay, tomorrow. 12 p.m. if everybody's on time, which they never are. Combo Couch. And, and then I don't know if Sister Amber's got anything going Friday night, but she might. And then Saturday night, summer is 69. Thank you, everybody. Love you guys.
Love seeing you guys tonight. It's been a while. So.
Yeah, keep everybody. Oh my gosh, we got some rays over there we need to call out real quick.
Better get those, yeah.
Yeah, better go out there. Okay, we have Popeye.
Hey, Popeye.
We got Popeye. That was the jailbreak edition. Yes, it was. We are out of the jail. And AREM, Tim Truth. Check out Tim Truth for great segments on COVID. TT, the best righteous indignation stream of thought. And he gets into everything. Ryan Christian is great organic consumers. Yes, we love
organic consumers too. I like them too.
Yeah, we love Alyssa. She's fantastic. Del Bigtree, fantastic, is in the thick of it. Burmis, Slow News Day Anarchy in the morning. So many now, as you know. Combo Couch, Fiorella, and Pasta are favorites, as are Roar Media. Thank you so much, AREM. We love you so much.
AREM,
we appreciate
we love you. Yes.
And we appreciate everybody's open-mindedness and willing to have the discussion without being assholes. That's always a good thing. And we all have bad days. Leonard Trust Fund, thank you. Oz and Chanda, thank you, Leonard Trust Fund. Always a pleasure to see all of you. We love you. Have a great evening. We are out of here, and we're only on time.
Wow, we are.
We are on time.
See you later.
Bye.